I'm excited to be sharing with you what we are going to be seeing roll down in a matter of a few days here with the launch of a hot company called Epic. So Epic is was started by a gentleman named Vincent Tan. Vincent Tan is a multi-billionaire, okay, not just a billionaire, but a multi-billionaire who got his start in business as a very young boy in Los Angeles working at a McDonald's. He started working his way through every position at the McDonald's. He saw how duplicatable it was, and he fell in love with the idea of franchising. So he bought a McDonald's, and then he bought a Wendy's, and then he bought a 7-Eleven, and then he bought a Krispy Kreme, and then he bought, the list goes on and on. There's, I believe there's over 35 franchises in his portfolio. Very successful in purchasing and running and following the game plan of franchises. About 30 years ago, he left the United States and moved over to China. At that time, he wanted to launch a very duplicatable franchise. He did so by launching a multi-level marketed company. However, it was a franchise opportunity. And the name of that company, some people may be familiar with it. It was the Amway, or is the Amway of China, and it's called eCauseway. eCauseway's been around for at least 32 years, does $800 million a year. And it's a brick and mortar. It's a franchise. And when he brought and introduced eCauseway to the United States, which is where we're at today, the United States was did not appreciate the business model in the way that it was marketed to the network marketing field. Therefore, it did not see the same success as the other countries such as China and Malaysia and Vietnam and Thailand and Russia and many of the other, and Australia and the other countries had seen, okay? So about a year ago, Vincent Tan hired a consultant. That consultant's name is Glenn Jensen. It's important to remember that name because Glenn Jensen is one of the owners and the CEO of this new company that is launching called Epic. So Vincent Tan hired Glenn Jensen to help him with eCauseway. He said, my company's making $800 million. I've been making $800 million for a while now, and I've hit a plateau. How do I get above that plateau and really take my business to the next level? Glenn Jensen has started 2 companies, very successful in the industry. He is a corporate guy, not a field guy. And he's been in network marketing, the corporate office, since he was 18 years old, and now he's in his mid-40s. So that's pretty much all he's ever done. He has successfully taken one of his companies that he owned into 61 countries, which is very difficult to do when you've got products crossing so many borders in 61 months. Unbelievable, and I don't think that anybody has ever beat that record. 61 countries launched with deliverable products in 61 months. So Glenn Jensen has a great reputation. He knows what he's doing in the corporate office, but don't ever put him in the field because he's not one of us, okay? But Glenn Jensen was brought on board to help Vincent Tan with his eCauseway. Glenn saw that eCauseway was not having the same success as he has had in other countries here in the United States. He said, you know what we need to do is we need to start fresh with a new hip, current company. See the $100 million leadership development strategy. And so what the company is doing, and more importantly, what we as a team are doing, is we have a different contract that is available to everyone on our team that's slightly different than what the company is offering. And it's a big plus for anyone that falls on Margaret Brown's team because you all have access to this. The contract is very straightforward. The requirement is you must show proof that you have earned a minimum of $2,500 a month in network marketing, okay? Network marketing or direct sales or internet marketing. So that is the minimum requirement to be able to qualify for a contract. The contracts basically go all the way up to $20,000 a month, and we have several people that on an individual basis have qualified for a much larger, even up into the $100,000 per month contract. That means that as a team, we will offer you a guaranteed weekly salary, whatever it works out to be over 4 weeks. We break that down. So let's give an example of $10,000 contract for per month for 6 months, and it runs for 4 weeks at a time. And so for every fixed 4-week period, we would guarantee you, let's say, $10,000 for the fact of having round numbers. So the contract, whatever you earn on a monthly basis from the compensation, that contract would make up the difference. This ensures that as you're working a compensation plan, that's a binary as well as a unilevel, and offers an extremely strong check match down 6 levels, which is absolutely incredible. If you've got one runaway leg, or you've got one team that's really exploding, and it's there, a lot of the growth is happening on your 7th level where you're not earning a check match and below, then this ensures that you will always get paid, at least for those first 6 months, that $10,000 minimum. Let's say you picked up $5,000 from the compensation plan, our team contract would pay you another $5,000. However, we know people want to get paid as quick as they can, and we know that will create more momentum. So what we've done is we've broken down the volumes to a weekly basis. As long as you hit that $2,500 in volume during that week, then you will get paid that $2,500, even though your commissions may be lagging a bit. Okay, so you'll have some guaranteed income. Let's say that you fell a little bit short a month. No worries. As long as you've hit 60% or can show us proof via an email that someone will be joining your organization, maybe they're waiting for a payday, and that would equate to your full amount for that week, then we have a team spirit of trust, and you will earn that full amount that is contractually owed to you. So the contractual fund is a little bit different for our team, meaning that we pay weekly instead of monthly. If you go to the company and you get a contract with the company is going to pay you 1 month in arrears. Which is better, getting paid weekly or 1 month in arrears? We say weekly. So we created our own contract. Then, and this is a private contract, it's not an Epic contract, but it is far superior. The next item that we wanted to differentiate ourselves is, listen, we're at the beginning of the beginning. Most of the folks that we're talking to all have key friends and leaders that they've been working with for years and years, and they all want contracts. Well, if you go straight to the company and get a contract with them, then every single one of your personals that has a contract, or anyone in your organization, when they create that weekly volume, that monthly volume, that is not going to count towards you hitting your contractual obligation to hit your volume goals. So for our team, we've created a contract that everyone on your team could have a contract. Let's say all your personals want a contract. Well, you included. You still will be able to count all of that volume. None of it will be encumbered, unlike the Epic corporate contract, okay? So that's a huge differentiator of what we're doing with our team. Pay weekly, and the volume of your team members that are also on a contract via our team you'll be able to use their volume 100% towards meeting your goals. So it's simple. Get a few people, personally sponsor them that also want a contract, and it would be very difficult to not meet your obligation. Okay, so that's the $100 million fund. Stephen, do you have a question?
Can I ask a question now, or should I wait till the end?
Well, I think that you may be asking, does it have any exclusivity? Was that going to be your next question?
Well, it was really a two-part question. One is the exclusivity. That's definitely a deal breaker for me. But the other is, what about guys that are doing way more than that? I do extremely large amount. I'm number one in just about every company I go to.
Okay, so if you want $100,000 a month, you want $200,000 a month contract, then you can get a $200,000 account and a contract. There is no limit as to what that amount is. We have one gentleman that has a $1 million a month contract. So as long as you can show proof that that's what you're earning, and then you can meet those numbers, then the company has no problem. There is no exclusivity either with the corporate Epic contract or with our team contract. You will not see an exclusivity clause in there at all.
So there is no exclusivity. Okay. All right. Well, that's nice.
Could you clarify, Stephen, that what we're talking about again? This is a contract with our team leader above Wendy, who has negotiated this, and this is for our team specifically. If we were to go to the company directly and get a different contract, then obviously then it would have the drawbacks that Wendy just enumerated. So do you think that under Bill?
Basically, we can, so if you're going for a bigger contract, though, you got to go through the company, I imagine. But your team still gets credit, I'm sure.
No. No. If you need a larger contract, we'll put you in touch with Bill Anderson, who's our sponsor. His significant other is the VP of Marketing and Sales, and he will likely have no problem meeting your needs. If you were going to do $1 million contract, then he may just likely give you straight, he'd say you and Glenn need to work it out. But if you're asking for a few $100,000,
no, I'm not going to ask him for $1 million a month contract. So I wouldn't even be here on the phone. Come on.
So,
but
anyway, no, we don't have any problem with with large amounts. There are many folks that right now are needing large numbers because they.
Well, I mean, it only makes sense if we're going to give our attention over to this company. I mean, it sounds like a decent company. Obviously, I want to look at the compensation a little bit deeper, but to turn focus like that, I mean, there's got to be significant, benefits.
Absolutely. So some of the highlights of the compensation plan are basically it's a 2/3, 1/3 binary that alternates, obviously, depending on where you've got larger volume. It'll alternate back and forth, 2/3, 1/3. There is a 6-level check match. First level is 15%. Second level through the 5th level is a 10% check match, and the 6th level is a 5% check match. And that is based off of the cycle income, okay?
Okay.
There is also a fast start. There is obviously a fast start amount. There is a first order bonus for the individual, but there is also a leadership first order bonus that pays out 5 levels, or 6 levels, pays up 6 levels. So as you start working in depth, the comp plan is all about helping those in depth to see success. And for doing so, the company is going to reward those, I believe it's either 5 or 6 levels above the individual that sponsors the new person buying the product, and everyone will be compensated. So that's pretty huge, and the amounts are extremely attractive.